Grand Rising, everyone. I did my morning meditation this morning, and right after that, I just happened to catch a live of Soul Whisperer, and she had some beautiful messages for us this morning. And I find it a coinky dink that a lot of the things that she spoke of, she was reading tarot this morning about the Tower card, and that there was going to be some unsettling times coming upon us in the very near future. And I've been listening to other folks that have very similar messages. I'm going to wait for a few more folks to get in here. Of course, I want to give you an update about my bacon slab removal surgery. This is 21 days post-op. Share some of the highs and lows and what I've learned thus far from the surgery of anyone else who's thinking about the possibility of having this surgery and kind of what to expect. Good morning, Luana. Grand Rising, my sister. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pop in now. Hang on. Let me turn this camera around. And I think I did it. Close that. And then I'm back. Hey, y'all. Yeah. 21 days post-op, what I call my bacon slab removal surgery. The actual surgery, let me turn my little meditation music down a little bit. Make sure you can hear me. It's 21 days post-op of having the procedure done. And the procedure that I actually had done is called a Fleur de Luis abdominoplasty. And what that surgery, the actual procedure is they actually remove the apron, or the panis is what it's called, that hanging big slab of bacon hanging at the bottom of below your belly button. And mine was so large, it was like, I would say almost halfway down my thigh. Once I take off my compression garments and my girdles and I call them my super collider spandex wear, to try and roll that taco meat up and roll it up in here and try and hold it in place. And a lot of people actually, once they actually saw what I had been camouflaging for so many years, they were like, wow, we didn't realize that it was that big. We could see that you had something there, but we didn't realize to the extent that that it was hanging. It was very, very uncomfortable. And like I mentioned before, I have lost 240 pounds over the last 10 years. And but even before, I can remember at the age of 17 years old, I was already at 300 pounds. So I never, ever remember me having any type of flat stomach. I've always had a gut. As an adolescent, I think I was an average sized baby, average sized toddler. But once I got into like preteen, like 11, 12 and on, everything just kind of ballooned. And in hindsight, I realize what that was about. I felt like there was no control in my life. And as you know, I grew up in the Jehovah's Witness faith. And so a lot of people in that organization resort to do things to self medicate because they feel so stifled. And for me, it was food. It was Ho Ho's, Twinkies, Little Debbie, uh, Bluebell vanilla ice cream with a whole package of Oreos, and not a box of chicken, but a bucket of chicken. Yeah, it was crazy. And I know of, other Jehovah's Witnesses. They cope with using illicit drugs, uh, different medications, alcohol, different things to try and cope with feeling so stifled. But anyway, that's old and gone. Um, what do I want to share with you guys regarding the surgery this week? Um, Again, it is not as painful as I thought it would be. It is painful, I'm not going to lie. It hurts like heck, but nowhere near what I expected it to hurt. Um, Today, I'm still having a lot of soreness and there's still some swelling in my abdominal area. But I started developing complications that the actual the incision from hip to hip is healing beautifully, not a problem at all. And the top portion from my sternum just above my belly button is healing very well. However, that belly button, they had to reposition the belly button because my stomach was hanging so low. It caused my belly button to be like about that long when it's only supposed to be about that long. So mine was really, really stretched out, and it was so stretched out, and with the extra weight pulling it down, it collapsed my belly button, so air really couldn't get in there, and it was a hot mess, having to constantly clean it, for fear of infection setting in. Um, so what they had to do is when they removed the pannus, they repositioned the belly button. So the belly button cord, or the whatever you call it, the cord was like about that long. They had to cut it to maybe about that long and actually reposition it and sew it in to where it's supposed to be. And then the area just below the belly button that goes down to my pubic mound, that area started, it just wasn't healing properly. It was starting to open up and starting to ooze. And so I contacted my surgeon, and they instructed me to, clean it daily with a warm, soapy water, but then to slather on Vaseline. And immediately my core said, Vaseline? Vaseline is not good, but I'm going to listen to what the doctor said. So I started doing exactly what they told me to do. And it made the wound angrier and more inflamed, and it started oozing even worse. It was a hot mess to where I was really beginning to be a little bit afraid that I might be developing necrosis, I think it's called, or a staph infection. So I called my dear friend, who's an herbalist, Jamie. She's with her company is called Missouri Herbs. Uh, Her products are amazing. So I called her up and showed her pictures of what was happening. And she immediately said, stop that Vaseline. It's just get it off of your body. And so I immediately did that, got cleaned it all off, got all that Vaseline off of there. And what she suggested that I use is go with an herbal, natural medicine. So what I did, she recommended that I use yarrow. It's the yarrow flower and the leaves, as well as plantain. And this is, yarrow and plantain are just wild what everybody calls weeds that's just growing everywhere, but it's medicine. So anyway, she didn't have any plantain. I didn't have any either. But another friend had some dried yarrow. So he brought it over to me. Thanks, Tim. He brought it over for me and ground it up for me in the coffee grinder to powder it. And then what you do is you take a piece of gauze and you I took like about 2 tablespoons of the dried yarrow onto a piece of gauze like that and folded it over to make a poultice, make like a long tea bag is what it looked like, a long tea bag. And then I poured a little bit of distilled water, just enough to moisten the plant matter. And then I placed that directly on the wound. And guys, I have to tell you, it was like instant relief. It was so cooling. And yarrow is, off the top of my head, it's antimicrobial, antibacterial. It heals and it helps draw infection to the surface. And so this is only day two that I've started the poultice. And when I changed the dressing this morning from just one application, the difference is night and day. The inflammation has subsided a great deal. The oozing has pretty much stopped. All I can say is natural medicine is the way to go. And then another friend brought over a salve that she made, and that one is with yarrow, plantain, comfrey, calendula, and I think one other type of herb. But her carrier oil is organic cold pressed jojoba oil and beeswax, all natural organic products. So that particular oil was really good for the wound. Now you can't put comfrey on open weeping wounds like that because the comfrey is so healing. It'll cause the skin to grow so quickly. It'll cover over the area when you don't want it to cover over that quickly. So, but I use the product that she provided. I make it also. I just didn't have any. But her product, I use it on the incision that's from hip to hip. And it was instantly cooling. It moisturized the skin. And already see the difference day 2 of using that product. So again, all I can say is when it comes to your body, pay attention to what your core is telling you. Because immediately when they told me to use Vaseline, my core says, Vaseline, I don't want to put that on me, but I'm going to listen to what the doc says. The same way they told us that if we would be okay. No. So go back to that gut. Follow your gut, guys. What else? And actually, a lot of I'm going to be making different blends, herbal blends, and the salves that I'm using now. I'm going to be starting up my own little Etsy store for my products that I'll be selling salves and creams and ointments and tinctures and oxymels, and I'm totally getting into the whole herbal medicine. And I was thinking about it. Say, for instance, there was no doctor that I could call, and I did have some type of infection. What would we do? That's why it's imperative that we learn as much as we can right now about everything that's growing around us. Start educating yourself about natural medicine, herbal medicine, things that you can go pick out of the yard. Say, for instance, like echinacea, St. John's wort, calendula. I can't. So many. Oh, let me show you this book too. This is an older book. It was given to me as a gift. It's called The Natural Book of Home Remedies, and this is an older version of it. But this book is amazing. You can learn so much, like teaches you how to make field poultices. Say, for instance, you get a cut um, out, in the wilderness someplace. And if you could find like some dried yarrow, you crush it up. And actually, they say you put it in your mouth and you chew it up. And it's very, very bitter. But you chew it up and they call it making a spit poultice. And so you wet the dry material with your saliva. And because the medicine is so strong, any bacteria that's in your mouth that's now in the spit, the yarrow will kill it all. So you could take that poultice that you've made, a field poultice, and put it on your open wound. Yeah, and cover it with a piece of gauze or a piece of t-shirt or a mullein leaf or something like that. And you'll get instant relief and you save yourself from massive infections of infection setting into your wound. So guys, again, learn as much as you can about natural medicine, because there's going to come a time to where we won't be able to call the doctor. So pay attention, okay? Okay, now I said we were going to kind of talk about world events. And as I mentioned in the beginning, after my morning meditation, I happened to catch Alive by Soul Whisperer. And her message was just so spot on. There's a lot going on. A lot going on about the drones and the plasma orbs that's everywhere. And I had to really sit and think, what's going on? What's really going on? My core tells me that this is the cabal's last ditch effort in keeping the population of the earth in fear, in chaos, unsure, don't know which way to go, lowering our vibration. Because again, that's what they feed on. That is how they have controlled us for eons. And they've done it by wars, by persecution, by religion. If you don't serve me, I'm going to strike your ass down and you won't get to heaven, and you won't get how many virgins, across the board. In every religion, there is this mechanism in place to keep people in control. So what do we do? Now, and let me finish about the whole drones. Do I think that they're extraterrestrials or intraterrestrials coming out of the earth or coming from the solar system? My gut tells me that I do believe some are these beings, or from another dimension. Some of them are benevolent. Some of them are bad, malevolent. But I also believe that a lot of these drones are reverse technology made by the governments, the cabal, and not just the U.S., but all over, because this is a concerted effort to bring in this one world government. And how better to get people so scared and fired up is to think that we are all being attacked by them or these or whatever. And remember, I told you guys that I watch different videos over the years. And if I hear something that resonates with me, even as crazy as it sounds, I'll put it on my cuckoo shelf, my cuckoo library for future reference. And so many of the things that I heard in years past that resonated with me, I had to go pull them off the shelf. And what's happening right now is one of those things that's on the shelf. I have this feeling. Another thing is the cabal, they are, they're backed against the wall. And I think this has a lot, as a matter of fact, I don't think, I know, has a lot to do with keeping Trump out of office. Now, again, do I think that Trump is the savior and the savior, and he's the one, the chosen one that's come to save the world? No, I don't. But I do feel that he has been put in place for reason. Now, whether that's a good reason or a not so good reason, as I mentioned before, I see that Trump has the capacity to be that dictator, to be that you do as I say, or I'm a, you know. But then I also see that he's been presented with a choice as well. He can choose to be that dictator and to cause more heartache and pain for this country. Or he could truly have a change of heart and is genuinely trying to bring in that golden age. And I mentioned this before, not the golden age, that's the, not, what is it called? The Gilded Age. There's a difference between the Gilded Age and the Golden Age. The Gilded Age, if you remember, it's the ultra rich, the Soros and the Elon Musk and the Bezos and Trumps and whoever have all this money, and then everybody else at the bottom. And the folks at the top, they're just kind of saying, ha ha, look at the poor people. Let them have cake. You know. Or could Trump actually be trying to initiate this golden age to where people are treated fairly and people are heard? I don't know. And I can't say yay or nay about what's going to happen. All I can say is that I'm watching, I'm paying attention. And do I feel like we're in for some bumpy roads that's coming in the very near future? Absolutely. I think that we're going to have some really rough times coming up, guys. And this is not to frighten you or bring you down in that lower vibration to where you're scared, oh, what we're going to do. We have to be aware of what's happening. Get you some food, store some water, have a plan if the grid does go down. The tap is dry, you can't turn your water on, you can't flush your toilet. Try and think ahead of how you're going to heat your home or stay warm. How are you going to cook food? I mean, start researching about like little terracotta pots that you can put together with the I think they're called Bunsen burners or something. It may not ever happen, but I'm saying it's better to put some things aside and not just wait for FEMA to come help you, because we've seen how that's working out. right now with the people in the Carolinas and Tennessee and that whole area back over there. So just think ahead about that. Then I was listening to another person that I listen to quite often, and a lot of folks kind of are turned off by her. It's Fleur Brun. She's the really busty um, lady who alleges that she is a contactee. She's from a different planetary system, and she's here with along with some other uh, people from her ship or whatever. And I know it sounds crazy, but again, the messages that she shares resonate resonate with me so much. And one of her last videos, she again was speaking about, we're about to go through some terrible things. And, you know, even in the scriptures, for those who the scripture where it says that men's heart will faint out of fear because of what they see and what they experience. And I think that's all part of the plan to cause even more chaos. But the message that she shared is the chaos that's coming. It's not the extraterrestrials or the interterrestrials. It's going to be the governments pretending to be the aliens. And they're going to do some terrible things uh, to the people. But she did say that we win the battle. We are going to win the battle. However, there's going to be many casualties. This is the time for us to not be afraid. But again, to go within. Remember who and what we are. And when these, whatever strangeness they have in store for us, of whatever we're going to see, or whatever reaction they're trying to get from us, do your best to stay grounded. Take a deep breath, and again, remember who and what we are. And when things really start crack-a-lacking, all the folks that told us that we were crazy and we were conspiracy theorists and we didn't know what we were talking about, and you need to pray more to the Lord or whatever, those folks are going to be so lost. So lost. And I think at that time is we will become like beacons of light to help navigate them through this. Another thing that just kind of popped into my mind again, remember they speak about the 3 days of darkness that may come. That's another reason why to have food and water stored away in your home. For me personally, if the lights go out and I see they're not coming back on, anybody that's in my home, you can stay. But don't come knocking at my door once the lights go out. You can knock all you want, but I am not letting you in at all. And I can't tell you guys what to do. I'm just telling you that that's going to be my plan of action. Once the lights go out, I'm in here, baby. I don't care if you, your mama, my sister, my children. If you're not in my domain, you're not coming in, because I don't know what's on the other side of that door. That may seem, cuckoo to some people, but hey, I guess I'm cuckoo. That's what's resonating in my core. What else? What else? Actually, that's a lot. That's a lot already. Yeah. So as these days pass, again, don't live in fear or looking around the corner. Oh, is it coming? Is it coming? No. Live your lives. Live your lives in this construct. That's another thing. I think this is some type of holographic matrix Sims game system. I've been also sharing a lot of videos regarding who Yahweh really is. What did Jesus ever mention Yahweh? He never did. He always spoke of his Father. He never spoke of Yahweh. Other than when the Pharisees says, well, when they were all in his face, he reminded them, he says, your father is not my father. He says, my father is from above and your father is from some other place. And he said directly to their faces, your father is the devil. And if my scholars out there or my truth seekers, once you start digging and piecing the pieces together, you will come to understand who the Elohim are, who Yahweh is, Yahuwah, all these other different names that conveniently they clump together. That's supposed to be the Most High. I don't serve any of those gods. I have no desire to serve any of those gods. And they're not even gods. They are the demiurge. They are not the grand creator. My heart, my soul, my being within this temple is that spark of divinity from the creator of the cosmos and everything in it. This being is pure light, pure love. Yeah. So when these things start popping off, even before, start practicing that now, going within and trying to connect, truly connect. It's there. The door is there. The connection is there. We just have to connect with it. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I'm thinking of, thank you, Crystal. Thank you very much. Yeah. One of the hardest things for me post-surgery has been I have no appetite. So I'm having to really push myself to eat. And it's critical when you're healing that you keep your protein count up. So I've been eating like this is my breakfast this morning. I'm having smoked organic apple smoked turkey with chunks of apples and citrus fruit, because citrus helps you when you pair it with your protein, it helps the protein get into your cells better. Food is medicine, guys. What else I got in here? Oh, and these little cucumbers, they are so yummy. The little cocktail cucumbers, so I've been eating those as well. So it's critical that you keep your protein count as high as you can. Yeah. Hello, Soul Whisper. I was just sharing with everyone that I caught your live this morning after my morning meditation, and your message was so spot on, so spot on. And it was funny because a lot of the things that you spoke about is what I kind of wanted to talk about too. That was kind of stirring in my core, and then hearing you confirm it about the tower card being pulled, and we were headed for some not so fun times, but how important it is for us to ground ourselves and remember who and what we are, and not to allow that to pull us down. And I thank you so much for that message. Yeah. So I'm going to get off of here right now. I still have my chores to do at home. I'm running late today, but my chickens got to eat, and my dogs, and I don't have to get firewood. My son came over the other day and restocked my firewood pile, so I don't have to do that. But let me stand up so you guys can see that the process. So let me pull this over here this way. Hold on. I'm still a little sore trying to get up, but hold on. Oh. But I don't know if you can see, but yeah, you can see, I think. And I'm still quite a bit swollen here, but each week it seems to go down a little bit more. And I'm still wearing the binder. I haven't started wearing what they call what do you call that thing? Hang on, let me grab it for a second. What do you call this thing? A faja. Your faja. this thingy here. It's still too early for me to wear this, but this is what I will be wearing probably for the solidly once I get the okay from my surgeon to start wearing this garment. I have to wear this every day, 24 hours a day for I think like 6 months. So yeah. Now I'm gonna wash it, y'all. I'm not gonna wear it for 6 months and be walking around stinking. But this is the faja, and it has like different. Let me show you. Depending on where you are, you may start here on this level here, but eventually you get here. And what it's supposed to do is keep everything flat and compressed. And so you get the more of the get this area as well to keep it flat. And this is another thing that I will be wearing. This is an abdominal board. And what this one is just you put this inside the faja like this, and it kind of gently compresses that way. And it is hard, it's firm, very firm. But once you get in it, it also helps with the compression and making everything flat, as flat as it can make it. Yeah. And you're also trying to, because when they did the surgery, again, my panis or my apron belly was, I got to get further back, but it was about this low. So after I take off my shapewear that I used to wear, just to try and camouflage it, when you let that stuff go, blah, it came off, and it was about this low here. So they removed all of that. And then the Fleur de Luis part of the surgery is they have to lift, they cut you from hip to hip, and they actually lift the whole slab of flat up over you. to expose all your muscles and everything here. And I had also developed 3 hernias in this area, and that was another reason why I chose to do that, the Fleur de Luis, because that needed to be addressed as well. So they went in and they repaired 3 hernias, and then I also had what they call diastasis recti, to where your abdominal muscles have kind of came apart like that. So everything was kind of bubbling out like that. So what they had to do is, once the big flab was over me, they go in and they sew your abdominal muscles back to in place where they're supposed to be. So I had that done and had the hernia repair done, and then they cut off the pannus part, and then they actually sit you up during the surgery. And the I still would have this. I still had like a lot of extra fat and skin here at the top of my abdomen that kind of flopped over. So if I'd only had the paniculectomy done, or removal of the apron, it would look like Jaws came by and took a chunk out of me and just left the rest of this blubber right here in the middle. So after they take this part off, they actually sit you up and they squeeze you together like this, and sort of mark how much that they can take from this area. So that's why I have the scar from hip to hip to take care of the pannus, but also from here to here to whittle this down and make it more aesthetically pleasing. And also, it was a mess. And the scarring is quite extensive. It is, guys. I'm not going to lie. However, I would rather take the scars. I'm so happy to get rid of all of this. I would literally have to grab my belly and move it around. I needed a wheelbarrow, a belly barrel. Hold on, I gotta, my meat's burning over here. Let me go turn that off real quick. Yeah, working on cooking some more meat. Yeah. But throw that back over here. I'll get it in a second. But the surgery was well worth it. Well worth it. So if you guys have been thinking about doing it, I highly recommend doing it. Yeah. Yeah, I would. I wish I had done it sooner, but better late than never. I'm 67 years old, and I was a little bit concerned about that, you know, with my aging body, you know, how I would heal. Um, but I'm healing okay. So anyway, let me pop in and say hi to who's here before I get off and go feed my critters. Luana, of course, is always here. Monique's Beauty, Life Over 50. Hello, darling. Welcome. Hi, LS. You said you have that book as well. Cold press organic castor oil is also a great carrier all. Absolutely. And actually, I've been using that LS on my skin and on my hair, and it is helping with some of the fine lines, not all of them, but it is helping quite a bit. Significant. It's helping a lot. So I slather, you know, when I get out of the shower, I slather it all over my body, everywhere. It's so healing, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff. John Appleseed, looking great, feeling great. I am indeed. Let's see. Hi, Crystal Gypsy. You're looking radiant, Monica. Yarrow Plantain Herbs. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, I want that book. It's been on my mind to buy for some time. Yeah, and again, I mentioned this. This is the older book, and actually, I'm going to order the new one. She has one that actually has. It's a book of tinctures already to go. She's already measured everything out for you, so you just know what to go and harvest, and you know the how much to put in each how much of each ingredient to add to your carrier oils and all of that. So amazing, amazing book. That's a great one to have in your library. Hello, Soul Whisperer. Thanks, Luana. Yes, it is quite a process of healing. Absolutely. It's not, and it's not only a healing of your physical body, but meditation and grounding. And I've been using crystal healing as well. I'll lay, my amethyst and my quartz crystals, and I've been using magnets and different things to help me through this as well. Let's see, read The Power of Now. It teaches how to be present and how to be comfortable with not knowing. Pre- Prepare, but do not live in fear. I totally agree. Be prepared, but no fear. No fear. No such thing as death. I totally agree with that. There is no such thing as death. We have that divine spark within us, and that divine spark is the creator of the cosmos and everything in it. You can't kill that. We will live on and on and on. Death is a doorway. Oh, thank you, Soul Whisperer. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close now. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, Again, stay grounded, no fear, stay in that high love vibration. Yeah. Till next time, guys, I'll see you later.